Hello there, everybody. I just wanted to make a video letting everybody in the community know that I am okay and I am safe. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but not too much, just so everybody knows. And so I can inform people that, I'm all right, I'm okay. I'm not going to be giving any details out as to where I am because I'm still undergoing harassment, and I will talk about that in a little bit. Hi guys. But I wanted to start the video with love, gratitude, and appreciation. We're going to have to touch on some of the uglier stuff, unfortunately, in a bit, but I wanted to start the video by thanking the community. I'm going to read to you what I wrote the other day on Facebook, which many of you have seen, but I think it kind of sums up, and I'm going to put this video on YouTube afterwards with the comments restrained, unfortunately, because of the harassment. So 1 minute. And in my time of dying, I realized I was not alone. My heart was drained and hurting, and hope was gifted by an extended ecosystem of witches, magic makers, silent watchers, and healers. I had felt completely isolated, but when I broke, 1,000 hands caught me. Humbled, teary, and eternally grateful, I realized I was part of something deeper and more widespread than I had imagined. It opened a door in my dying, and I will never be the same. Hi guys. This is true. In my most terrified moments, in some of the worst moments of my life to date, the community came out in a kind of force that I did not anticipate, I could never have hoped for, and has utterly changed me at core. I felt completely alone, and you guys, the community, along with Morrigan, I believe very strongly, saved my life and helped me to get away from a truly heinous situation. I don't really have the words for the feeling that I have. It gave me back hope. It felt like I had been trapped in Pandora's box with all the evils of the world, and at the bottom of the box was the hope that was restored to me by you guys, the community. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the donations, all of the kind messages of support, and all of the people who have gone out of their way to try and help me in various different ways. There have been some truly kind, truly kind messages and offers of care and help. People scrambled to try and help me, and I didn't expect such an outpouring of support, but it was incredible, and it has changed me at core. It really has. Firstly, I couldn't believe how many people were being kind, and then I realized that the universe had shown me that I had been living in an environment which was beyond hateful, which was beyond cruelty, and yet the rest of the world was not like this. That outside of that situation, people wanted to help, people were kind, people were loving and accepting and would listen. And you guys showed me that. The community showed me that. And it is my very, very great honor to be a part of this community. And I just wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of that. And I know some people were a little bit sad they could only send messages of support, they couldn't afford to, and some people were upset about that. But the messages of support were just as powerful. And there was some that really, they gave me hope and life at a time where I was terrified, truly, honestly terrified. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for that hugely. There's so many messages that I can't get to them all, and I'm a little bit brain foggy anyway, because obviously it's been a bit traumatic, and I had to get out of there because I was being threatened with homelessness. and I, been threatened because I had no rights and all the rest of it. And I'm going to say this about the situation with him now. I have the last 9 months on tape, pretty much. I have his threats on tape. I have how he treated me and other people on tape, on photo evidence. And it's the only thing he's taught me, because if I have listened to all the other people who were trying to warn me, and some people were trying to warn me, then I might not have gone in the first place. I might not have had a year of my life stolen from me. But ultimately, we live and learn. And as I have said publicly, I wish I'd been wiser, but at least I will get stronger, and I will. So I'm not going to discuss everything publicly, because this is what he wants me to do. He wants to create drama like he did with his ex. He wants to create a situation where he can profit off drama, and I refuse to be a part of that. I encourage everybody around me to refuse to be a part of it too, and to treat his drama mongering and harassment with what it deserves: silence and turning our backs on it, because that's what I fully intend to do from this point on. And the couple of things that I will mention now are going to be the only things I'm going to mention publicly, and I'm loath to even speak on these things, but unfortunately, as of this morning, I've started receiving harassing messages from people via the store. I have addressed the specific situation on Facebook and given the information. It's public, so you can read the very public information detailing that situation, and I will not be discussing that situation again. He is not a good person, and there are many people who will know he has stolen from them in terms of books, courses, runes, things that have gone unpaid for. And he has stolen from me a great deal, including directly from my bank account. I've had to scramble to protect myself and that which I love, and I will continue to protect myself and that which I love. I ask the people who are harassing me to take a moment to read what I have put out there. He will be telling the world the same things he told me and others about his exes. All of his exes, by the way, not just his most recent ex. He calls them all insane. He calls them all jealous. He uses the exact same phrases to describe every single one of his exes, and the common thread is him. He creates an environment where women feel insecure, jealous, and unsafe, and he manipulates people usually entirely for money. And if anybody cares about who he goes on to next, who he cheated with and is going on to next, I suggest you try and warn her not to share her bank account or anything of that nature. I'm obviously not amenable to discussing anything with somebody who hurt me so badly, but if anybody does care about her, then you might want to advise her not to share her bank details and all the rest of it, because I fully believe there is a ploy to get him back into America one way or another. However, that is my personal feeling on the matter, and that I can't prove, so we're not going to discuss that at length, and we're not going to discuss him any further than we have to. To the people who are harassing me currently on his say-so, I ask you for 2 points of consideration. Firstly, I ask you to consider the body of evidence against him, not just by myself, but by a great number of people who are all saying very much the same thing. I'm not asking you to believe me on my word alone, but there is a body of people out there who are telling you the exact same thing. Also, as I have mentioned, up to this point, I have recorded and taken photographs of a huge body of evidence detailing his many abuses towards me and to other people. I have him on record saying some truly heinous things, and if you are a female, the way that he talks and treats women is something that you should want to be 100 million miles away from, and I am glad that I no longer have to listen to such insults to women and myself ever again. And as I have said, from this point forward, I will be treating him with complete and utter silence, and I do not wish to speak of him or hear of him again I will be turning my back on him, and I will be continuing with my work. And despite the repeated insults, the repeated attempts at harassment, both in my places of work, on the internet, and in my inbox, I will not be responding to any further of him or anybody who believes him. I will say, however, if you do fully believe that he deserves defending for whatever reason, despite the fact there is a long line of both women and men who have suffered at the hands of this individual, then I ask you to remove yourself from my personal space. I do not want him anywhere near me anymore. I have managed to escape a truly horrifying situation, and I do not want it in my inbox or anywhere else anymore. I am free, and I do not wish to be hounded by him. And honestly, I know that he will use drama to try and create a new version of success for himself as one final stab in the gut, I guess. He's already been trying that at my places of business, and if you have eyes to see it, he has made all of that public, not me. He has presented himself as the cheat. He has presented himself as tattooing the cheat's name on him, and he has presented himself as bringing her into one of my publishing houses, one of my places of business, even though she has no presence whatsoever and no body of work. So I think from a calm, collected place as much as I can, and I'm not going to lie, I still have anger and pain around this issue. You can see that for yourself. The second thing I ask you people to consider, if you know, even if you hate me, which, okay, if you do, sure. The people who've been contacting me don't know me, so if you hate me, it's a very strange reaction for you to have, but regardless, if you hate me so much that you don't care about my word and the word of other people and the huge amount of body of documentation and proof that I can provide, I want you to know that harassment in such a fashion is actually against the law, and you can get into a lot of trouble for it. As a side note to that, he claims some people who support me have harassed him in his messages. Now, I'm not predisposed to believe a word that comes out of his mouth, but I'm going to say to people on my side, it's far better to meet him with silence, blocking, removing yourself from his subscription and walking away and treating him with silence. Because if you are harassing him, which is not something that I have ever asked anyone to do, you make yourself liable. And given that he is a truly heinous individual, I'm asking you not to put yourself at his mercy, because he will do anything he can to get at people, to get money out of people or anything like that. So protect yourselves and do not go and harass him or anything like that. I'm not asking you to do it. If you want what I want you to do, treat him with silence and disdain, and know and warn people who might be in a very vulnerable position to losing a lot of money. So I think that is just about everything that I feel comfortable discussing with regards to this particular part of my now closed book of this life, which I no longer wish to discuss any further. But I will say this final part, that I have recorded everything. I have everything on tape, photographs, proof, witnesses, and evidence should he continue this campaign of hatred and harassment. I have seen him treat other people and myself with a complete lack of empathy, which he mocks, and a complete lack of humanity. So for my part, I don't wish to have any more to do with him. And I didn't even wish to discuss him in as much length as I have done, which I know for you guys is not much. But I'm going to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, he is one of the worst people I have ever met, and I wish I had never met him. So that's how I feel about that situation. And I'm going to, I'm doing my very best to stay very, very calm and not get angry and not get emotional about it, because I know he's going around telling people that I'm the same things, that he's told the same exact lies about his exes, calling them all crazy, calling them all cheats, calling them all this, that, and the other. Now, with regards to that situation, I am safe. I am not going to be putting out my address because he's threatening to come and find me. And but also I'm not in a relationship or anything like that. I didn't I'm being accused of some truly strange things by his camp, and I'm not. I'm going to do what he claimed he was going to do, which is spend some time healing and working through it, and dealing with the pain of the situation, and honestly giving back to a community which has saved my life. And I will continue to give back to the community. So if you want to know about the direct thing that he is using as his one and only victim card, I have put the facts as they are, the truth of the matter, on Facebook, and that is public for anyone to read. However, if people start harassing that as well as my inbox, I will take that off public. But for now, that situation is public, and so you can read it. But yeah, I'm trying very much not to descend into the chaos and the bitching that I know he wants. He wants a slagging match, he wants a drama match, and he will tell you that he doesn't. But he does. He has always thrived on harming people and creating drama and creating a situation to steal money from people through drama. So I'm going to ask you guys one last time, from the thing that I want to do is I just want to greet him with nothing but silence and a wall, and I don't want anything to do with him anymore. I'm going to continue my places of work because he does not get to take any more from me than he already has. And there are things in my places of business which I believe in strongly. I've talked about those somewhat in the past, that I will not be driven out of my places of business by such infantile and cruel behavior as is being committed in my places of business right now. I'm not going to be made to be small and told what to do and be made smaller or made weaker by him. So I'm not going to stop my business. I'm not going to be driven away. So for the people who are sending me harassing messages, I ask you to listen. I ask you to at least consider your own welfare in terms of what you're doing is illegal. And so if you don't care about listening to my side of the situation, that's fine, but protect yourself and stop harassing me, because I will not be responding to it. I will not be taking it on board. You are not affecting me any further than I felt the need to make a video anyway and thank the community. I was going to make a video and thank the community anyway and let everyone know I'm safe. I will not be telling a man that has taken everything from me where I live, so can we please stop sending me those emails? That's never going to happen. So just to finish this video on a nicer note than that, because I really didn't want to focus on that part, I do want to once again thank everybody for their kindness. There has been some truly wonderful, deeply loving, moving messages, and people have offered me more support than I could have ever imagined to help me avoid the very real situation of homelessness which I was facing and that he was threatening me with. And I have him on tape, like I said, doing and saying all of this. So thank you guys. Thank you. I don't really have the words beyond this. I don't have the words beyond thank you, and kind of I will keep putting out content. I'll keep discussing things. I will keep holding up other people. That is one thing actually that I will finish with. There is going to be a campaign against me. I very, very strongly believe this because he's tried this with other people before, saying that I hate women, that I'm vindictive and I'm cruel, and basically attacking what it is I stand for to try and make the community think that I'm a liar. I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm perfect and that I never felt jealous. I'm not going to tell you guys that I don't have bad days and I don't get stressed and I don't get pissed off and I don't, I do, I'm human. But ultimately, I want a community that I love to succeed and grow and flourish. I love you guys. I do. And when that slurring comes out, which it inevitably will, that's not who I am. That's not who I have been. And it's definitely not who I am going forward. The community has shown me that there is love and support out there, and people that are good people and that the number of good people outnumbers the number of cruel people, truly. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I am safe. I'm going to be able to become stronger from this, and that is due in a large part to you and to the gods whom I believe in, whom I don't use to create money out of, whom I know have stood behind me. And one day, in the very, very distant future, maybe I'll tell you some of the synchronicities that Morgan sent my way as a result of this situation, which helped me to see that there was a path for me. And this is not an end, but instead, this is your guys and mine, rising from this situation. So that's going to be it for this particular video. Thank you. Many blessings, much love, and just know that I am so beyond grateful that you've put a Virgo out of words, and that takes some doing. Many blessings.